Hi guys, this is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a sparkly eyeliner look, this one, using the Violet Voss Best Life palette. And if you're interested in to see how I got this look, keep on watching. Okay, we're going to get started. So I'm going to prime my areas of my face where I know I have a lot of pores. I'm going to use my Too Faced Primed and Poreless. This has been one of my favorite products to use to do that. And I just need a tiny little amount. You don't need much for this step. And you want to press the product into the pores for it to do its job. So my pores are mostly just around my nose, on my nose, some between my brows, a little bit on my chin. And usually you would leave this sit for a little bit because it's kind of like the same as moisturizer. You need to let it do its job. I'm just going to go straight in with my foundation right now because I am a little bit in a hurry, but normally you could give it, 5-10 minutes and it should be okay. This is the video where I wanted to use my Amazonian Clay 12-hour full coverage foundation from Tarte. I wanted to see how it applied because the first time I used it, I used the Tarte Beauty Blendiful and I wasn't sure about the application. So I figured if I did a test where one side of my face was with the sponge and the other side was with the makeup brush, that I would know the outcome if I actually liked the foundation. I've wanted this for a long time, but it's a very thick, very full, well, actually the last time I put it on, it didn't even have full coverage. I had to do a couple of applications to get that full coverage look. So we'll see what happens with the sponge and the brush. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I did do a makeup video where I used my sponge with this foundation, but I fast forwarded that part and just went really quickly. So I don't even remember, like my face looked good after, but I didn't compare it with a brush. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got my damp Real Techniques makeup sponge here. I'm gonna put a little bit of product on the sponge. You could just put the product on your hand and then use the sponge and pick up some of the product. So I'm going to start from the middle of my face and blend outward. Definitely not feeling like this is full coverage at all because I see everything. My skin looks the same when I apply this foundation. So I know that's what concealer is for, is to do spot cover up, but when they say full coverage, you think that it would give you a little bit more of a full coverage look. This is with the sponge, so it does tend to blend it out a little bit more and make it more sheer than a brush would. It looks very natural. Like it basically looks like my skin a little bit lighter because I did get this shade in 22G Light Golden. So the next side's going to be with the brush. I'm going to be using my Sigma Flat Kabuki F80. I haven't used this brush in eons. So again, I'll start from the middle of my face and work my way out. And now with this foundation, I think I definitely like the brush application better. This side's a little too sheer for me. This side gives a little bit better coverage. I mean, and keep in mind again, the purpose of a foundation is just to even out your skin tone. So if you don't need foundation everywhere, you don't have to put it everywhere. But for me, my forehead is darker than the rest of my face. The problem with that is I have really deep forehead expression lines, so I try not to put too much product on my forehead, which again is the problem because that's the darker area of my skin. So normally you would say, match my foundation to my forehead, but I can't because then you should match the foundation to the color of your neck, or at least a little bit lighter than your neck. Kind of at a catch-22. But I think I do definitely prefer the brush with this better. It is a thicker foundation. And you could always spray your brush with some makeup spray, not setting spray necessarily, but MAC Fix Plus, or just something that makes your, like a makeup refresher. That would definitely help to blend it out better. But yeah, this side still looks natural without being like it. I can see that kind of glow coming on my cheek right there, and I like that. That looks really nice. So yeah, I don't know about this. I mean, this side I do have more areas that I need to cover up, but even my under eye looks darker. That's okay. I don't think anybody in the natural light can tell, so I'm just going to go out like this. So my next step is concealer. I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand. I'm just going to conceal under the eyes today. I do have really dark circles. So normally I would go in with a warmer, orangey toned e.l.f. color correcting stick. So I've been meaning to use that lately because my sleep has been a little bit non-existent, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word. I've been basically waking up, I'm uncomfortable, my arms go numb, my legs get cramps, so it all comes with the territory of being pregnant, I suppose. But yeah, serious dark under eye circles. So the next time I do my makeup, I might use my color correcting stick. I actually haven't used it for a while, but it's a little bit brighter for me, so this looks good. And I'm not going to bother covering up my spots today. I'm okay with natural looking skin. Natural-ish looking skin. I feel like I haven't done my makeup in forever too. I think I finished like 7 makeup videos, like editing them. And then I kind of gave up and I was like, okay, I need a break. But now I'm back. And who else is going to order Jeffree Star's Bloodlust palette when it comes out on the 21st? Yay! So exciting. That is done. So I'm going to set that quickly with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in 10 Fair Light. I'm just going to use a little bit for the under eye here. And of course, my favorite brush is my F06 Powder Sweep brush. So I just put a little bit of powder on the concealer areas. And normally I set my face with powder. Like, I use so much powder, but I really don't feel like it's necessary with this foundation. I feel like even though it gave me a little bit of a natural glow here, I feel comfortable just wearing it like this, and I don't feel like it'll come off. But that's usually why I set my makeup so drastically, like with so much powder. Obviously over powdering. Wow, I can't talk. I feel like the more you powder, the more your makeup will last. And that's true to an extent. But if you use too much product, then you start seeing more wrinkles and cakiness, and it just doesn't look very good. So sometimes the less is more comes into account. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I feel really comfortable. I feel good with my skin right now with this makeup, but I really like this side. Like, it looks really good. It looks so creamy and natural and smooth. I could just like touch it. Oh yeah. Touch it and then my makeup comes off. Okay. So next I'm going to actually I usually use my Tarte Park Ave Princess to contour, and I'm not really gonna contour today. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna contour at all. I'm gonna use my Too Faced Natural Lust bronzer because it's been my favorite bronzer lately. It has a little bit of shine to it, and it's so pretty. I love this compact. It's just beautiful. I feel like this packaging is way better than the actual palette packaging that the Natural Lust eyeshadow came in. I didn't like that at all, but this I like. And I found this at Winners and it was like really cheap, so I feel really good about that. So I'm just going to warm up the perimeter of the face a bit. Usually I do my bronzing all over my forehead, but I'm just going to warm it up. Usually I do like the focal points of my face when it comes to bronzing, but this is going to be a natural look except for the eyes today. And I feel better sometimes when I'm not wearing as much makeup because I don't feel as done up. All right, so I want to do eyebrows. I'm going to do that off camera. First, we'll put some blush on though. I cannot forget blush. So usually my go-to blush palette that I reach for like all the time is my Tarte Bliss blush palette. Wow, it's a lot to say. And I always take my, I need to clean this brush. This is my Powder Blush F10 by Sigma. I love that brush, but I'm going to use a different brush today because it's really dirty. I'm just going to use this random one from Amazon, just like a fluffier brush. I usually go in all the colors because I just like mixing my blush, and I put it on the apples of my cheeks. And I don't need much for today's look, so I'm just going to blend it in. And not to worry if you put too much product on your face, because you can just go back in with your powder brush and use a little bit of loose powder and take it away. So I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to do eyebrows. Again, I'll list everything that I don't mention on camera. I'll list it down below in the description box. So if you're curious, check it out. We'll be back and we will focus on the eyes. Okay, now that eyebrows are done, again, this is a very natural makeup look on the face, and I'm going to do colorful liner for the eyes, but I am going to use my Too Faced glitter glue because I want to use my Violet Voss Best Life palette. So I didn't really pick out a shade beforehand, but I think I'm going to stick with Money, this one here. I feel like green today. I'm wearing like a green khaki colored shirt, and this green doesn't really go with that, but I like this green sparkly color. So I'm going to go ahead and line my upper lash line with a little bit of this glitter glue, and I'm going to do a little bit at a time just to see how much product I need. And then I'm going to go in with this little brush. This is a brush from Costco. It's like a random liner brush. And normally I would spray this with some kind of setting spray, but because it's got the glitter glue, I might not need to. Okay, so I'm doing a little bit at a time, and it's actually not as vibrant as I thought it would be, but this might be okay because I don't want it to be that green, and if I used a different color, I'm sure it would have popped a little bit more. So I'm adding some of the glitter glue. I'm going back into the shadow and adding the shadow on top of it. And I'm going to bring it out quite high at the end into a wing. And I'm also going to, at this point, spray my brush with some setting spray. So I'm just going to use MAC Fix Plus for now. And I will layer on some more of the shadow. And I did get some fallout, so I'm just going to wipe it away, try to be very dainty about it. I don't want this glitter getting underneath my eye at all. So I think that actually looks really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye now. So again, take a little bit of the glitter glue and put it along the lash line. And then if you want to clean up any edges, like this one here, I made a mess, I would take a concealer, a really thick concealer with some sort of flat definer brush, and just tidy up the outside line. I'm just using my Tarte Shape Tape, the same as I was using, and stamp it on and blend up. And it tidies it up and makes it look much better. And then the only other thing, like if you wanted to have it a little bit brighter, you could technically line your eye with a gel pencil on the top, and then that would actually help the shadow to even stick a little bit better. And I think that looks good. I think I'm happy with this. And as for lashes, usually with a look like this, in order for the shadow to really stand out, I'd prefer to just use mascara. The other thing I was thinking is that I could line my upper lash line with like a dark teal or even a green. Let's see what green would look like. Well, this isn't really green, this is a teal. But I could line the upper lash line, the upper waterline, with this color, and it would kind of get into the lashes. And no, it's not black. Usually you would do this with black so that your lashes look thicker and fuller, but this will help to make the green pop a little bit. And the only other thing I could think of, and actually this could be something, is to use some kind of like colored mascara after you've put on your black mascara. So right now, I've personally been loving this L'Oreal Bambi Eyes mascara. It's kind of nice. Usually my favorite, like my diehard fave, is the L'Oreal Voluminous Feline. But this one's kind of cool. And the only thing I might have done before I started putting on mascara was maybe sprayed the shadow with some setting spray, like an actual setting spray that keeps your product there. I didn't. I still can, but I don't want it to ruin my mascara, so I have to be really careful. If you do get mascara sponges anywhere, just wait for the mascara to dry and then dab it off with a Q-tip. That's always the best way, because if you try cleaning it up when it's wet, your foundation's going to come off and you'll have a smear, and nobody wants mascara smears. Okay, so the finishing touch obviously is lips and highlighter. So I'm going to take my Mary Lou. It is my favorite highlighter. And I'm going to take, I wish I had a smaller brush. I've been using my F64 for highlighter sometimes, but my tapered highlighter F35 is the one I usually use. So I'm just going to add a little bit to the cheekbones here. The nose, a little bit on the chin, Cupid's bow, and a little bit between the brows. So this look is not matte at all. It looks very dewy, very natural, but I really like the eyes. And you can use any colored liner. You can be a matte liner, but if you put a matte shadow on your eyes, it won't really work that well if you use a setting spray. Glitter glue should work fine, but I like the glitters on the eye. It just makes it look so sparkly, so pretty. And now for lips. What should we do for lips? I think to be more comfortable for the day, I'm just going to use a Buxom lip polish. This is the shade Samantha. It's my go-to shade because it's so neutral and so light. And that is it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please leave this video a big thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're new here, and also hit that bell notification so you won't miss any videos. And we will talk to you guys very soon. Bye now.